Well, it's definitely worth making that statement because you want to lead by example, but I think what we need more of is show and not tell. Yes, we are talking about what Marvel Studios vice president recently said, and she said that it's about the women in the MCU moving forward not being objectified, which, yeah, it's about time, I think. I mean, they've been trying to make some strides in that regard over the course of the 10 years. 10 years plus. So this came from a recent interview with Time, and this was with Marvel Studios Executive Vice President of Productions Victoria Alonso, who's been in a Marvel role with the films ever since, well, since they really got big with the X-Men. So, she's been there for a better part of 2+ decades, which is pretty impressive to have that on her resume. So recently, while talking about Marvel's Black Widow and, the direction that film goes in and what they're trying to do and reflecting on where the character started in Iron Man 2, where even Scarlett Johansson talked about that character and the approach where, it wasn't really the most flattering. She says that from now on, it's a conscious effort with everybody to not objectify women in their films or products. And it's something that they're very aware of, and the times have changed, and this is how it's going to be. And reflecting on what came before, I think it's pretty safe to say that they understand what pretty much most of Hollywood has accepted. I mean, look at Hollywood 20 years ago, and then look at it 10 years ago. Then look at it 5 years ago and look at it now. There's definitely been a slow change that's been happening with not just women, but also minorities and leads and what you can do and all that. And it's sort of an evolutionary process because Hollywood, as most people have cited, is run by people in their 70s, 80s, and in some cases 90s who are still very much stuck in the old ways. And as younger people continue to make strides and changes and, get into these positions of power, like Kevin Feige, like a Victoria Alonso, change is coming with it. And with that brings, less objectification of women. Again, it just goes hand in hand with how the times have changed and how they are changed. And I think we are definitely seeing that when it comes to Marvel Studios. We started to see it with Peggy Carter. We've seen it more with Captain Marvel. We've seen it with Black Widow. We're seeing it with Wanda. So it's definitely something that they're very well aware of. And we know that women are a major focus in Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios going forward. So really not surprising at all. I'm just glad somebody said it and fully, owns up to it, going, yeah, we screwed up. We know, but hey, from now on, we're not going to do that. We're going to make an effort not to do it, which is the best you can do now. Make that promise and actually commit to it. And also, Ike Perlmutter got the boot, so he's not allowed to say only middle-aged white men, because that's what he was doing.